All right, all eyes on the President of the United States right now. He's held his first press conference there, where he did tend to confuse some people, wondering just exactly how much, he meant when it came to, chemical weapons, Russia. We've been reported on that. But hidden in a lot of this was the willingness on the part of the U.S. to promise and accept 100,000 refugees from Ukraine. Of course, that's a tiny number compared to countries like Poland that have already taken in better than 2 million. John Cornyn, the Texas Republican senator, kind enough to join us right now. Senator, first off, on the refugee commitment the president has made for 100,000 Ukrainians to come here, what did you think of that?
Well, America's always been a place where people who are oppressed or seeking freedom or religious liberty have come, but what I'm a little concerned about is I don't know where the president got that number. As you point out, there's millions of people being displaced out of Ukraine right now. But we also have seen 2 million people show up at our southwestern border during this last year, and we've seen Afghan refugees coming out of that ill-fated, ill-planned shutdown of our presence in Afghanistan. I'm not sure where the president got that number. I'm interested in learning more, but also making sure that we can do this in an orderly and appropriate way.
He's committed more monies for Ukraine. We can assume part of one tranche of that was this system that enabled the Ukrainians to take down and blow up a Russian warship. We don't know for sure, but obviously it begs the question, if he had this type of ability before, he certainly would have used it. What do you make of the military aid that is making its way to him?
Well, I was in Poland and Germany this last weekend with some colleagues, and basically the message from the Ukrainians was we need more and we need it faster. And that included not just weapons, but also humanitarian relief. And so the weapons that are being provided, I think we're continuing to do that, but obviously they need everything they can get their hands on, and particularly given the threat from ships offshore bombarding Ukraine, flattening cities and killing innocent people, they need to be stopped. And so if we need ship-killing missiles, they need them. We need to get those to them as soon as we can.
There was lots of confusion over what the president meant when he said a measured response matching the use of chemical weapons if the Russians were to do so. It wasn't or didn't seem an immediate repudiation of that we respond in kind of use chemical weapons in return, but that it has to be how much damage those chemical weapons might make on Ukraine. What did you make of his response?
Well, chemical weapons are, by and large, illegal under international law. But you'll remember that when President Obama said it was a red line and then did nothing to back that up. So we need to be prepared to deter Mr. Putin when it comes to chemical weapons and all other forms of aggression against innocent Ukrainians. Unfortunately, right now, it seems like Mr. Putin is deterring us and our allies more than we are deterring him. And unfortunately, time is on his side because he's just going to keep coming, keep grinding this out until he's stopped.
Senator Cornyn, I want to thank you very much. In the meantime, I apologize for the truncated nature of things. We're following a lot of news. But Senator, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.